Simon and Christine Hudson. We live in North Ferriby in beautiful East Yorkshire, and we've had a EcoDan air source heat pump installed in the house. We've been interested in sort of improving our environmental impact for quite some time. About nearly 10 years ago, we had a solar panel fitted to the house. I think we were the very first in the village for that, and that's been an interesting improvement in many ways. And then as we came up to looking at what we do next as we get approach retirement, it seemed like a good option to improve our credentials a bit further, change the way that we sourced our heating. The moment we use, or until we had the EcoDan installed, we used a combi boiler to provide both hot water and gas heating. But nowadays we just use the combi for point water heating, and the EcoDan take care of all of the house heating in combination with a solid fuel stove that we have. Well, actually, the very first thing was that the sales chap who came to call, he was lovely. I mean, he was young, keen, but never pushy. Understood that we actually knew something about what we were talking about, and sort of rolled with that rather than just trying to read from a script. Was able to answer most of the questions that I was wanting to ask, and that was impressive. But didn't at any point do a hard sell. He worked really hard at it, but he never actually pushed us into a corner on it, which is important because we won't be pushed. We'll make it our decision. So we liked that. The explanation was very clear. The technology that was being described, sat with what I understood, and it, answered pretty much all the questions that we had about the technology. This is our original boiler, so you can see the boiler was there, and there was already this box underneath that hid the pipes that went into the boiler. And we challenged the fitter to see if he could get that equipment into this very small space. There was definitely a sharp intake of breath when you looked at the space. Let me show you what they actually did. So if you can see that, the big white box is the EcoDan control box. And then there's a pressure vessel and some pumps and heat exchanger all in there. And they said that this was the smallest space they'd ever managed to work in. But it's very good. It's really neat. Didn't use up any extra space that was stuff that we were already using. No wasted space. And we're delighted with how well they've managed to fit everything into the existing the utility cabinet we've got. So as you can see, we've got solar panels on the house. I think they've been up there about 8 and a bit years, 9 years by now. Installing these halved our electricity consumption, which was good because we are a high capacity, high consumption household, as you'll see when we look at all the electronics inside. What's interesting for us is, of course, we're generating more electricity than we can use during the day from these panels. So adding the air source heat pump is an attractive proposition because it lets us power our heating during the day using our excess electricity. At some point we'll even look at putting in one of the battery storage technologies so we can carry that over into the evening, charge the batteries during the day and run the heat source off that in the evening. But these have been good. They paid for themselves in about 6 years, which is pretty good, and now it's free money really for the next 18. So it's interesting. We tended to have some rooms particularly warm, and other parts of the house were much cooler. We don't have that anymore. Because of the way it works and the energy efficient way it works, we're able to leave more of the radiators on throughout the house more of the time. So we've got the pleasant feeling of warmth in every room, and especially when we come in the evenings, if we've been out for the day, our lobby, it's just beautiful to walk into a warm lobby, and then as we go to the house, that same pervasive, pleasant heat is everywhere we go. We didn't do that before. Before, to keep our energy use down, we used just to heat the rooms that we were in. Now we can afford to use it more broadly. Yeah, that's nice. Oh, well, I wear fewer jumpers, still wear jumpers, but I wear fewer jumpers. Chris wanders around in t-shirts and bikinis, I think. The first experience with the sales guy was excellent. Then we started to have doubts, and then talking to somebody who actually knew what it would be like to fit it, that spun us around again. So actually, the entire process has been reassuring, seamless and very professional. So I've looked at a few different air source heat pumps, and the EcoDan is one of the latest technologies, if not the latest. I mean, a couple of things that really stood out are, it runs down to very low temperatures. Again, when I did the math, I was concerned that sometimes, we're in Yorkshire, it can get chilly. This thing will continue to generate heat at sort of, below minus 10 degrees. So I wasn't going to be freezing in the depths of winter. It's also about the quietest on the market. That was important. Well, first of all, take it seriously. It's a completely mature technology. It's great for the environment, and for most people, it will make a real difference to their heating bills. Don't get too worried about the the noise or the size or all the other things. It's a really straightforward process once it's all set up, and then once you've got it set, enjoy it.